So you're a leader, a Sakari leader, Adonis Gloud.
Yes, Adonis Gloud is my name. So if you could walk with me, Sam.
It depends, man. Sometimes I don't like the journeys people take me on. What is it? Give me your question. Let's see.
I understand, but my thing is, some would say I've been pulled into a cult, right? Now, I grew up, just so you can understand my background, I grew up as a Roman Catholic, all right? I was baptized and, pretty much my whole life until, I started coming across some of this information. Okay. And recently, my mother, and not even just recently, just over the years since I've come into what some would call a cult, she's urged me consistently to come back to the church.
Good woman.
Okay, yeah, she's urged me to come back to the church, but to be honest with you, due to some of the reservations and things I have and kind of lack of an ability to come across anybody to, I think, adequately represent the church, it's just never happened. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I heard you were Catholic. I don't know. I'd honestly rather talk to somebody who's Catholic in regards to this. Are you Catholic?
There are a lot of doctrines of the Catholic Church I hold to, yes. So what doctrines of the Catholic Church disturb you?
To be honest, it's certain doctrines, but also it's like the history. You got to understand that.
Yeah, before you get to the history, give me the specific doctrines you struggle with, because I have someone that's confirmed. She knows you because she deals with Hebrew Israelites. You told a guy named Brother Polite that he could kill his mother. He was okay with that. So it's okay. I
told him that there's nothing morally wrong with it. That's what I said.
Good job. I like that. I love the moral code that you guys espouse. So, but what doctrines of the Catholic Church? Be specific so we can get to it.
Okay, so some of the doctrines of the Catholic Church, maybe purgatory, the perpetual virginity of Mary.
Yes.
What else? I'm trying to think. And some of just the hierarchical, the papacy, etc.
Yeah.
I take issue with. I don't know which of those you hold to, though.
Now, I just want to ask a question because I don't know what your particular branch of Hebrew Israelites believe. Do you believe in the virgin birth of Christ, that he was conceived and born from the Virgin Mary?
No, sir.
Okay, so why are you even worried about the perpetual virginity of Mary when you don't even believe in the virgin conception and birth of Christ?
Well, the reason is because it's a fundamental Catholic ideology.
Yeah.
So,
but let's first get down the virginal conception and birth of Christ, because if there's no virginal conception of birth of Christ, there's no perpetual virginity, because she wasn't a virgin to begin with when she conceived Christ. So why do you reject the virginal conception and birth of Christ?
When I read the text and, of course, understanding the prophecies, I understand that this all had to happen by the seed of David.
And what does the seed of David mean?
The seed of David means fluid.
And how could David's seminal fluid be transferred to Jesus when he was dead 1,000 years before the birth of Jesus?
Well, of course, he had descendants that were created from his seminal fluid. They had such.
No, you're not listening to yourself. You see, this is the problem I have. You didn't listen. You said he has to be the seed of David, and you said the fluid of David. But now you extended that to the seed of his descendants. That's not what you said. So it's not literally the seed of David, right?
Well, him particularly, no.
Okay. So right there, you just answered yourself. You just proved that the seed of David cannot be literal because David did not marry to give birth to Jesus. So that means you have to look elsewhere to know what seed means. For example, in Genesis 3:15, the seed of the woman. Does woman have? No. But wait, it says seed of the woman. Genesis 3:15. Explain how a woman can have seed. Genesis 3:15.
Well, if we could just slow down for a second, because the high priest is called the seed of Aaron, and the Israelites are the seed of Jacob, but they're not the seed of either of those people.
Good job. No. So you just made my case. It means to be a physical descendant thereof. So what proof do you have that Jesus can't be the seed of David from his mother's side?
Well, number one, what proof do you have that Mary is a descendant of David?
The fact that Jesus is called the son of David.
Okay, so that in and of itself is self-evident that Mary is a descendant of David.
Logically, if Mary is his mother and he has no biological father, and yet he's the son of David, then the only conclusion you can arrive at is that Mary has to be of the household of David. You need to prove that Jesus has a biological father. That's from David. Well, who's his biological father?
Well, this is the problem with that. Mary only has one relative that we see documented in the scriptures. Is she a descendant of David or even of the same tribe as David?
You should know better that priests could marry any virgin from the tribes of Israel.
No, I don't disagree with that, and I'm
Okay,
not.
but I'm
disagreeing
answering
with
your
that.
question. So you're not listening to the answer. You're already anticipating how to object.
No,
Elizabeth
I'm not,
being his
I'm not doing
kinswoman.
that.
See, there you go again. You're talking over me. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me what you want to hear so I can repeat it back to you. Listen to the answer. You're referring to, I'm even going to tell you what you're referring to because you didn't mention it. You're referring to Luke 136, where Elizabeth is said to be the kinswoman of Mary, sun genis. That means that Mary, Elizabeth on her mother's side would have been a Judahite because Levites could marry any woman from any tribe. So that doesn't prove that Mary is not a daughter of David. It proves that Elizabeth would have had Davidic blood from her mother's side. Prove me wrong.
Well, that's a good assertion because, of course, it doesn't elaborate upon who her mother is.
No, well, I'm
right?
asking you skipped my answer. Who is the biological father of Jesus that made him the son of David? You didn't answer that.
Well, let's just go first. I mean, if we go to Matthew 1, it clearly gives him a genealogy of a man. I don't understand why.
No. Finish it. Finish it. Don't play games with me, Matthew. Go to 18 to 25. That actually shows you just butchered the text. Read it. Go to Matthew 1.
I've never butchered the text. Why would the genealogy of a man who has no biological relation to Jesus Christ be listed in
you want to read or do you want me to hang up on you? You've got 5 seconds to decide. 5,
Sam,
4.
Why are you going to hang up? I've been respectful.
Go to Matthew 1. Matthew 1. Bye-bye.
Listen,
Apollos, go kiss Adonis. Bye-bye, Apollos.
Why I have to be hung up on?
Yep. Stinking wicked cowards. The dude it quotes Matthew, but he doesn't quote 18 to 25. See their jokes. They can't show you Jesus has a biological father, so I have to butcher Matthew 1. The same Matthew that says that Joseph did not touch Mary until she gave birth to her son. Does it get any clearer than that? You understand what he's trying to do. He's saying in Matthew 1, verses 1 to 17, there it's Joseph's genealogy, and that genealogy, and here's what's ironic. You want to hear what's ironic? He says, why is Jesus given a genealogy? Guys, let's go to Matthew 1:16. Here's what's ironic. Isn't it ironic he quotes Matthew 1, the very passage that destroys his argument? And Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. Do you see that word of whom? Do you know what of whom means? That word of whom is feminine. It means he was born of Mary, not of Joseph. Did you know that? It's not masculine. To reiterate the fact, he is of Mary, not of Joseph, even though Mary was engaged to Joseph. Here, let me show it to you. Andra Marias or Marias, ek, hes. Guess what that word hes is? Whom. When you put your cursor, it says personal, relative pronoun, genitive, feminine, singular. It's a feminine, singular pronoun, meaning he was born of her, not of him. So you see, even the Greek makes it clear that Jesus was born of her, not of him. That's Matthew 1:16. And then let's read Matthew 1:18 to 25. Now the birth of Jesus Christ was as follows. After his mother Mary was betrothed to Joseph, before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Spirit. Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man, and not wanting to make her a public example, was minded to put her away secretly. But while he thought about these things, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take to you Mary, your wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit. She's pregnant by the Holy Spirit. So don't think she cheated on you, Joseph. So the child is not of you. The child is of her from the Holy Spirit while a pure virgin. And she will bring forth a son and shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. So all this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the Lord through the prophets, saying, behold, the virgin shall be with child and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which is translated God with us. Now, guys, pay attention to 24:25. Okay? Then Joseph, being aroused from sleep, did as the angel of the Lord commanded him, and took him to his wife, and did not know her till she had brought forth her firstborn son, and he called his name Jesus. Okay. Guys, what more could Joseph have said by inspiration of the Holy Spirit to make it inarguably clear he did not sire Jesus? Jesus is from her alone, not from Joseph. She conceived by the Holy Spirit, not from Joseph. And Joseph did not get near her or touch her until she gave birth to Christ. What else could Matthew have said?